Hello, welcome to Yoga Flow on this beautiful Wednesday. So today we are actually, once we get going here, we're going to start with the strap just to open up the shoulders a little bit. We'll use this again in one of our standing balances if you need it. And then we'll use it at the end to get a nice, good hamstring stretch in as well. So I'm just going to leave that right here in front of me. Blocks, if you might need those for transition for more stability, you might need them through some of the balance challenges. So just make sure that you have them in close proximity. But we'll come to a nice comfortable seat to get started. And as you come to your seat, think about a nice tall spine. So we want ears, shoulders, and hips. We're going to zip up from the pubic bone to behind the navel, belly button into the spine. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin. And we'll come into our practice. So as you begin to turn inward, is there anywhere in the body that you could soften just a little bit more? So is that the face, the shoulders, the hips? My hips tend to get grippy when I'm sitting, so I'm always trying to soften there. And then maybe now bringing that attention to the breath. So as you inhale through the nose, could you expand through that rib cage? And then slowly release out the nose or the mouth. And take that again, big inhale and expand. And exhaling that out. Changing it up just a bit. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to normal breath, fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 reach up overhead, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Connecting with an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? For me in this week, it has been courage. So you can use that one and apply it how you need to or your own. And then once you have that set, we'll inhale, take the palms back up overhead, turning palms away, growing taller from crown to tail as you come down. Good. Let's inhale, take the arms back out to the side. Palms are facing to the ground for now, and just get some rotation through the shoulder. Good. And then from here, whenever you're ready, we're going to go into a body wave. Big inhale, exhaling around. Feel that little stretch. Inhale and open. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, come forward, clasp the hands and press away. Inhale. Exhale, coming back up. Good. So from here, grab your strap, and I'm going to thread that strap between my pointer and thumb, and I want to have a wider than my body grip here. So we're nice and taut. So from here, we're going to take it up. We're going to keep the rib cage in as we come back. So what I mean about rib cage in, so if I turn this way, you can see that my rib cage and everything is nice and normal. This is rib cage out, so we want rib cage in. Good. And we'll just take that a few times here, going back to your limit. Now, if you want to take it all the way back to the top of the hips, you want to keep your arms long. So take a wider grip on your strap if you need to make that happen. And just move nice and fluid, or as fluid as you can, going forward and back. Good. Now, we're going to come forward. And then this next time, I'm just going to shorten my grip slightly here. We're going to take it back to your sweet spot, which might not be your full range of motion. So I can get it to the tops of the hips, but this is actually my sweet spot. This is where I feel the stretch the most. So this is where I'm going to just hang out here for a moment and breathe. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up, taking that strap back forward. Place the strap to the side. We'll come back to that in a moment. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, I'm going to side bend to my left. I want to think about shoulders and hip being in alignment here when I take this side bend. I'm pressing through that opposite hip, getting a nice stretch here. Breathe and expand. Good. And you can choose to stay here, come out, or you can follow me through a nice little opening flow. So I'm going to inhale and open, exhale, roll and close. And we'll open and close. Belly button is in, protect the low back, and we'll open and close, open and close. One more, open, close. Now reach and pause. Good. Lengthen through the side, move through center. Use your side abs, your obliques. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, take it back over. Again, watch shoulders and hip in alignment. You're pressing through that opposite side. Find that nice side bend stretch. Good. And then you can choose to stay here, come out, or follow me through that flow. So we'll open and exhale and round. And inhale, open and round and open and round. One more. Open and round. Take a pause. Good. Find some length and come back. Reach, reach, reach. Good. We're going to go to one gentle twist here towards the right, rolling the shoulders back. And we'll inhale, lift, exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, take that to the other side, rolling the shoulders back. And then inhale, lift, exhale, center. We're going to do this as a little flow here too. Your breath will be your own. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So we're moving faster through this little twisty flow. So you want to be mindful. You always want to twist from length. So we want to keep that tall spine, and we want to stay with the breath and belly button in. Good. Now the next time we come over to the side we started, we'll take that down. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe look a little bit more behind you now. Breathe and expand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale. Take that to the other side. Rolling shoulders back. Maybe looking a little bit more behind you. Good. Breathe and expand. And then when you're ready, inhale and lift. Exhale, come back to center. Good. Get any little movement here that your body's asking you to do. Is that a little neck stretch or a roll? Is it a spinal roll? Some shoulder rolls? Is it a couple hip hinges here? Maybe switching out the legs so you can find a little bit more balance. If that's what you're doing. Find what your body needs. And then when you're ready, we're going to come on to all fours. So if your knees need cushion, remember you can put a folded blanket or a cushion under there. Some people roll up their mat, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So preparing for some cat-cows here, get in the good form first. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Elbows are turning inward. Knees are under or slightly behind the hips. We're going to have the tops of the feet down. Good. So from here, big inhale, shine that heart forward, tip that pelvis back, nice cow pose. Exhale, really press away and around that cat pose. Think almost like a separation of the shoulder blades here. Get a good stretch. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now come back at ease. So I'm going to just turn around this way so you can see better what I'm doing with this next variation. So from here, I'm going to inhale center through my cow. As I round through my cat, I'm going to kind of roll and sink up towards that right side, getting that side body stretch, and then I'm coming down through center cow, and then I'm coming up doing the same thing on the left side, and then coming down, and then going back to the right, and down, and last time to the left, and down. Good. From here, we're going to shift back to child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You choose. Big toes can touch or not touch. You can have your arms long in front of you. If your shoulders don't like that right now, you can take your hands back by your ankles, letting the shoulders relax. Forehead can come to the floor or to a block. Find where you need to be. And then we're going to make this an active child's pose. So can you zip up from the pubic bone behind the navel, belly button in? Can you keep expansion through the rib cage? And I'm having just a little bit of an engagement here. My hands and arms are long in front of me. So I'm pressing slightly into those hands, nothing extreme. If you've got knee issues, be careful with this one. It's often considered a universal pose, but that's not always true with knee issues. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll inhale, come forward, and we'll come back to the tabletop position. Good. So shorter people, so to give you perspective, I am 4'10", so I'm usually fine right where I am. Most people are taller than me, and those most people will take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. Otherwise, tuck the toes. I'm going to press into my mat as I lift and shift. I'm going to keep my knees bent here. So look down at your feet. You want your hips, your knees, your ankles, and your toes to practice in this alignment. I'm pressing in and forward into my hands. I'm still rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Elbows are slightly turned inward. Shoulders are in my pockets. My head and neck are free. My belly button is in. Now from here, some of you might choose to stay. You might choose to lengthen the legs just a little bit here, but always keep a little bend if you're tight in the hamstrings or have some back issues. Some people like to walk the dog, bending one knee, lengthening one leg. Some people like to come high on the toes and drop the heels. Choose yours. And there's nothing wrong with stillness either if that's where you want to be. Good. And then from here, find some stillness if you took some movement. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. I'm going to walk or step my feet forward to meet my hands. Use blocks if you can't touch the floor. And then I'm just going to fold here for a moment. Getting into all four corners of the feet if I can. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen, halfway flat spine. Come to block, shins, thighs, or the floor. Exhale and we'll bow. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage to the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your intention. Let's find mountain. So little soft knees here, soft tailbone, soft heart. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage to the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. When you're ready, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step back into a plank pose. Use blocks to help you get there if you need to. So you can be in this high plank, or you can be knees down. Find the plank that works for your body in this moment. I'm pressing just a little bit more into the pointer and the thumb knuckles here. And I'm trying not to collapse the upper body. So this is collapsing. Really press that away. Breathe and expand. So if you have more experience and flowing is in your practice, you're welcome to come forward slightly without collapsing through the shoulders, elbows coming back, lower down to the belly. Some of you are going to follow me knees down first, and then same thing, trying not to collapse to the upper body, elbows come straight back as you carefully lower down. Good. I'm just going to tuck the toes here. I'm going to move this block out of the way here for a moment. Good. I'm going to take my hands a little forward and a little bit to the side. So right up against the edge of my mat. I'm going to roll my shoulders back, relaxing the elbows. I'm going to lengthen. What we're going to do here is a little Cobra Flow. So, and we're going to do this through Cobra Twisties. So we're going to do these a few times. So lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the low body, belly button in, pubic bone is into the mat. From here, find a little Cobra. Remember, no crunching through the spine. And we'll lower. Lengthen, 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 belly button in, pubic bone into the mat. Press up, coming up towards the right side. Look over that right shoulder and come down. Lengthen and engage, coming through center, maybe a little higher, maybe not. And we'll lower down. Lengthen, 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 pressing through the left side, coming up, looking over left shoulder and coming down. Lengthen, 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 find it through center. Remember, yours may not look like mine. You go where you can go. Lengthen, 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 coming up to the right and coming down. Lengthen through center. Triceps working hard here to support us and coming down. And lengthen. And coming up to the left and coming down. Last time through center. Take it little. Take it a little bit more. Take it a lot. Shoulders in their pockets. Engaged core. Supported low spine. And we'll lower that back down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up from a plank into a plank from here, and shift back in down dog. I'm just going to move this block back into place. Everyone else will follow me, moving through a tabletop position, then lifting the knees, finding your downward facing dog. Now find your breath and your intention. Good. From downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend those knees. Walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain intention. Good. So we're going to do a little bit of movement here with a little bit of a balance challenge before we go into our next little flow. So I'm going to recommend feet are about hip width apart. If you're someone that needs a little bit more stability, you can come a little bit wider, but hip width apart should do it for most of us. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, bending those knees, take it down. Get into the heels and the glutes. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. The next time we come up, we're going to shift the weight into the left, pick up the right. Whew. You don't have to lift high, but notice your habit pattern. Could you press a little bit more into the big toe mound and the heel and lift up taller out of that hip? So some people kind of hang in the hip. Could you lift up out of there? And we'll take that foot down. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, take it down and come up and take it down and come up. Good. Stay with the breath. Stay with that good intention. Good. And this time we're going to come up. Weight shifts right. We'll pick up the left. Notice balance differences here. Again, pressing into the big toe, pinky toe mound. Lift up out into the heel, out of the hip. Press into the heel, lift out of the hip is what I mean to say. Good, and then from here, we'll take that down. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back into your plank pose, and then you choose to take or skip a flow. So I'm doing modified ones because of a shoulder injury, so you're welcome to follow me through those or your own. Flowing is always optional, never a requirement. Good. From the downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back into plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. Good. Now, take some time in this down dog, remembering that child's pose is available to you at any time for as long as you need it, if you need it. But we're going to really press in and even up through the upper body. I'm going to lift my left knee here. I'm going to bend it, and I'm going to open to the left. So strong, even upper body, that's your base of support. You can hang out here, twirl an ankle, circle a hip. You can take this back as much as your body will let you, so long as there's no funny business in the low back or in the hip. That's your sign that you've gone too far. And then from here, we're going to even the hips up to the floor. We're going to keep that knee bent. We're going to round, step, or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. Use blocks if you need to here. Some of you are going to ground down that back knee and find a grounded crescent. Some of you are going to be lifted and find a lifted crescent, high crescent. You find yours. Good. So could you look down, especially if you're up high, and see that front toe? If you can't, that foot needs to be more forward. Grounded or lifted, front hip can come back a smidge, back hip can come forward. And if you're up high, press back through that heel. Be nice and strong in the side. Good. Now, getting into that front heel, whether you're lifted or grounded, could you open just a little bit here, a little back bend? And we'll come up. We'll take that path to the mat. Good. Front foot's going to step back. You choose, take or skip a flow. So I'm going to skip this one for me, but you're welcome to take yours. And when you're ready and you're back in your down dog, we're going to do that all on the other side. So now your right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee, opening to the right, strong, even upper body here. Take it to your limit. You can hang out. You can twirl an ankle. You can do some hip circles here, whatever feels good. And then when you're ready, strong, even upper body. Good. We're going to square the hips up back to the floor. We'll keep that knee bent. Inhale, exhale, round, step, or pick up and put your right foot forward between the hands. Using blocks for stability if you need to. You can ground down or you can be up. Find your crescent variation or high lunge, some people call it. Good. So front hip will come back hip will come forward no matter where you are. Press back through that back heel if you're lifted. Glance down, can you see those front toes? If the knee is bent, we're over behind the ankle. Good. Now from here, maybe you want to open into a little back bend. I'm calling this courageous heart today, since courage is my intention. And we'll come up. You'll take your path to your mat, plant the hands, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip the flow. Good. Find good, strong breath, good intention here. And when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain intention. Okay. We are going to go into a tree pose here. So I'm going to start on my left side, and I'm just going to come back a little bit here. So I'm going to start on my left side. So hip, knee, and toe are facing forward. Have a drishti, so that's your gazing point, something either straight ahead or forward and down on the floor, something that's not moving that you can keep your gaze on. So from here, I'm going to start. You can start at the kickstand. You can be at the calf. We'll see if I can do this one today. You can take the foot to the thigh, pressing thigh and foot into each other. If you have slippery pants, this one can be really tricky, but you want to be on the thigh or the calf. If you're lifting here, you don't want to be on the knee joint. Now, could you, again, press into the heel, press into the ball of the foot, lift up higher in your tree, lifting up out of that hip. If you're hanging there. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll bring that back in. We'll carefully release, shake out that supporting leg. And we'll come back to that right on the other side. Now, right leg, hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. Zip up from the pubic bone behind the navel. Core engagement is a key, in addition to the breath, to balance challenges. So you've got your kickstand, you've got your calf, you've got your thigh. We'll see if I can do it on this side. Sometimes this one is day to day for me. Some days I can, some days I can't. Looks like I'm going to be able to do it today. Good. Again, pressing through the heel and the big toe and pinky toe mounds. Lift up out of that hip. Grow taller through your tree if you can. Good. And whenever you're ready, we'll carefully come back down and carefully release. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Good job. Coming to the top of your mat. Feet are going to be about hip width apart here. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, sit back into that chair pose. Now we're going to sit here for a minute. So really get into the heels. Hip, knees, and toes are tracking. Get into your glutes. Can you find a longer spine here? Stay with breath. Stay with intention. Maybe you want to play with moving side to side here for a moment. Notice how one side still feels different than the other. And then from here, coming back to center, if you took the sway, inhale, exhale, and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. From the downward facing dog, left leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. Good. We're going to round, step, or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. Use blocks for stability. So I'll just demo that real quick if you need to. As you warrior prep that back foot. Good. Pressing back through the back edge of the back foot, getting into that front heel. Now your blocks are assisting you with stability as you rise. So always remember that. It can be a knee saver for some people. Also a balance saver for some people. Good. So front hip's going to come back just a little bit. Back hip's going to come forward. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to hinge. I'm going to take my feet, or my hands rather, to the inside of that foot. I'm going to walk my hands out about 45 degrees. So think about lower body is warrior, upper body is down dog. Now for some people, this is enough. Some people will hinge back a little bit here. Some people can take the forearms down. So you choose where you need to practice. Watch both of your knees. Some knees don't like this. So if that's you, remember pain is not normal. So if you feel any of that, back off until you do not. Inhale, lift. Exhale, walk those hands back around, framing the foot. Swivel up the back foot, plant the hands, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one for myself. When you're ready, we'll take that all to the other side. So right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Use blocks again if you need to. Warrior prep that back foot heel to heel or a little bit wider and find stability as you rise. Warrior 1. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Relax through your shoulders. Soften through that face. Pressing a little bit more through the back edge of that back foot. Good, and then from here, we're gonna hinge from the hips, taking those hands down. The hands are on the inside of the right foot. You'll walk those hands out about 45 degrees. You can stay here. You can hinge back. You can lower. Find yours. Remember, yours may not look like mine. We go where our body lets us go, and then we don't worry about the rest. And the body's a funny thing. You might be able to do it well today, and then 2 months might go by before your body is able to do it again. And then we'll come back up. We'll walk those hands back in, framing that front, planting the hands, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip the flow. So I'm again gonna skip this one. Good, inhale, look forward, bend those knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, and intention. Okay, we're gonna go into a warrior 3 here, and I will give you a grounded variation and the full variation. So I will show you the grounded first. Good. So we'll start on the left leg. Hip, knee, and toe faces forward. You're going to keep this knee soft. Square off your hips forward. Okay. So from here, when you're ready, arms can be overhead or really anywhere you need them for grounded, because you're going to reach towards the blocks when you come down. And you'll reach, reach, reach. Now, some people might be able to reach the floor here, and that's okay. But notice how I've got a long torso. My toes, knees, and hips of my right leg are facing ground. I'm not opening up to the side here. Now, from here, if you want to train yourself, you can come into a full warrior 3. Arms can be by the hips, outside, forward, prayer, doesn't matter. And again, a little challenge. Could you press into the big toe mound and the heel? Could you lift up out of that hip? Good, and then from here, taking hands down. Good, so you're going to use the blocks or the floor to reach that right leg back. Warrior prep that right foot, heel to arch or a little bit wider, and then we'll rise, warrior 2. Good, so if you need to adjust where you are, that's okay. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. And again, do your little check. If you could glance down and see your toes, that's great. If not, that foot needs to be more forward. You can lengthen the front leg or keep it bent for a more challenge. Try not to shift the hips, take it back exalted. If you are a wrapper or a binder here and you would like to take that, feel free. Good, inhale, exhale, I'm gonna lengthen. Good, I'm gonna turn my left foot in. So now I'm in a prasarita stance, a wide-legged stance. Check in with your toes, make sure they're even. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. I'm pressing through the outer edges of my feet. Some of you might stay in wide-legged, but I'm going to encourage you to play somewhere that's good for you. So you can stay there. You can walk your hands forward, shifting hips back. Some people like to try and touch forearms down. Some people like to grab the toes, big toes, and give a little tug here. But wherever you're going, can you find length in that spine? Breathe and expand. Come back to that intention. Is it courage or is it something else? Courage means different things to different people. It might be courage to be yourself. Sometimes that's courage to do the right thing, even though it's not the most popular thing. And then inhale, take it back up. Take the hands back in. Good. Pressing through the outer edges of the feet, put a little bend in the knees. Carefully find yourself back up into standing. Good. Now, left foot's going to turn back towards the top of your mat. Now you should be in a relatively good position for triangle pose. So for triangle, for me, I'm just a little bit wider than I want to be on this side. So I just took my back foot in, and my back foot is at an angle. So my front hip's going to come back. My back hip's going to come forward. My front knee is going to stay soft. I'm really pressing through that back foot. I'm hinging from the hips, keeping length. So remember, this is not a forward fold and a collapse in here. You're finding length. Why? Because we're going to go into a twist here. Triangle is also a twist, and we'll open. Good. And you're at a stacking of the shoulders. So if you need to bring a block in here, there's nothing wrong with that either. Good. Remember, if you're not looking up at your hand, your head and neck is an extension of the spine. So you don't want it to hang down here. You want it to have that nice length as well. Good. Now from here, we're going to look down at that front foot. I'm going to show you a more advanced transition, and then I'm going to give you a different transition for those of you that need it. So we're looking down at the front foot. We're putting a bend in that front knee. I'm grabbing my block. I'm going to take that block forward and to the left of that left foot, maybe a couple toe taps to get there. And now I'm going to come up. I'm going to open that hip, open my chest. Nice half moon pose here. Okay. Now, some people, that's not the best way for you to get there. So maybe you come up out of your triangle, you take your block, you're moving forward. This is also the point where if you need to come up against the wall or a steady piece of furniture, if you have a fear of falling backwards, where you could do that. So you're going to reach forward, you're going to bend, maybe a couple toe taps here, you'll come down, and then you're right there. Okay. Now, some people might have to get used to that motion, and maybe this is you for a while before you get the courage to take it down. And that's okay. Baby steps for everybody. So from here, when you're ready, from your half moon, wherever you took that, and the way that you need to, carefully just bring that foot down. Good. Back to the top of your mat. Good. Now I'm going to switch my block to the other side for when we do the other side, then it's there for me. But we will come back to the top of our mat. Good. Notice how noodly your feet feel. We're going to do one flow, and then we're going to do that right into the other side. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip that flow. Oh, noticing how that body feels. Legs should start to feel noodly about now. Good. And from your down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, and your intention. Good. So from here, I'm just going to take this over here too. So going back to warrior 3, you're going to find your warrior 3. Your right leg is going to be your supporting leg now. Good. So hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. Good. And then whenever you're ready, inhale, Exhale, and take that back. Good. Use blocks or the floor if you need to. Good. My left toes, knees, and hips are facing the floor, whether you're lifted or grounded. And whether you're lifted or grounded, could you press into that heel and the foot? Lift up out of that hip. Good. And then when you're ready, hands to blocks or the floor for transition if you need it. Reach that left leg back. Warrior prep that left foot. I'm just going to take my right foot out just a little bit more. Good. And when you're ready, rise. Warrior 2. Good. Front hip will come back a smidge. Back hip will come forward. Look down, check. Just make sure you can see those toes. Stay with that breath. Good. And then from here, whenever you're ready, keeping that front knee bent, or you can lengthen it here. Find exalted warrior. If you did an arm bind or a wrap on the other side, find something similar here. And then when you're ready, good. We'll come up. Good. We'll lengthen that leg. Good. We're going to go back into Prasarita one more time. So I'm turning both feet in and making sure my big toes are even to each other. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Good. Now this one should feel different to you than that first one we did. Hopefully in a different but good way. So again, you play, maybe you come into this one the same way you did it on the other side. Maybe you try out something different here. Find yours. Can you still press to the outer edges of the feet? Try not to collapse into the inner arches. Stay with breath. Come back to intention. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully come back in the wide table, pressing through the outer edges of the feet, maybe a little bit of a bend in the knees, and in the way that's best for you, carefully come back up to standing. Good. We're going to go into the triangle from the side. So I'm going to turn my right foot back towards the top of my mat. I'm going to angle in my back foot here. Good. So from here, front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm going to keep a little softness in that front knee. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And when I can come no more, coming to a thigh, a shin, a block the floor. I'll come to a block on the side. Good. And then we'll open. Good. Think about a stacking of the shoulders. Maybe smile and relax the face. Good. And then from here, inhale, exhale, look down at that front foot. So we're going into that half moon here. So some of you are going to bend that knee, come back up here and go into it, or move to a sturdy wall. Some of you are going to go into it from here, grabbing that block, putting a bend in the front knee, reaching forward and a little bit to the right of the right foot, maybe a toe tap or two, coming up and opening here. Good. Staying with breath. Now, you also want to watch your feet. So hip, knee, and toe of the supporting leg still face forward. We don't want to turn that inward. That'll create all kinds of unnecessary havoc for knees, hips, and low back. And then from here, when you're ready, looking down at that front foot, good, carefully coming out of there, taking your foot forward, coming back up to standing. Good. From here, coming to the top of the mat, we're going to do one more flow just to kind of work anything out. And then we're going to come to our final standing challenge balance. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Lots of first chakra work today. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll out. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip the flow. And find your downward facing dog. Get some good breaths here. Maybe you need a child's pose, a towel break or water break. That's okay too. Those of you following me from the down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain and intention. Okay, so this standing balance, some might use a strap, some of you might not. I will show you ways to do it without a strap, and then I'll show you a way to do it with a strap. This is the last thing we're doing up. We're going to come down onto the floor after this, I promise. So from here, when you're ready, option 1 might be here. Then you might go to here. You might take it back to center. You might choose a little twisty here. Okay, so that's a little bit more beginner without the strap. A little bit more advanced. If you can reach your toes or your foot, then it's going to look like this. And then maybe you take that out to the side. Ooh, maybe not fall over. Let me try that again. Good. So we'll take it up. Now maybe we come out to the side with a little bit more balance and grace in that first example. And then we'll come back in. I have to bend my foot, or knee rather, in order to grab my foot, but you can take that here and find that twist. Okay, so to do all of that with the strap, and I was asked this question earlier today, if the strap makes it easier or harder. It really doesn't matter. It all depends on the person. So it really just depends on the person. Some people find it easier. Some people find it more challenging. Oops. Some people like it if you've got short arms, but maybe long legs. The strap can help with that bind. Good. So here's option 1. Going to the side. Coming center. Maybe switching hands if you want to take that into the twist. And then those of you that want to try this with the bind, we'll take it up here. A word here, if you're using the strap. So I have the strength and the flexibility to take my foot in line with my hip. Some people cannot. If you are not stable here, you keep wobbling over, then take this lower until you are stable. Working up here where you're unstable and you're falling over and you're trying not to do that does not help you in this pose. So if you're using the strap, keep it low in the beginning until you're stable if you need to. But same thing as before. You can take it to the side. And then come center and switching sides. Okay, so choose yours. I am going to set my strap down. I'm going to do this the easy way because I've done this several times this morning already. So from here, whenever you're ready, left leg will be your supporting leg. And we'll come up. You choose, with or without your strap, long leg or bent knee. Maybe you go to the side. Maybe you come back to center. Maybe you come into a little bit of a twisty, maybe not. And then come back into center and relax that down. Shake, 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 march, march, march. And do that all again on the other side. Good. So right leg is your supporting leg now. You choose, long leg, bent knee, with or without the strap. Maybe you take it out to the side. Good, coming in the center. Maybe you choose a twisty variation. Good. And coming back into center and taking that down. And march, march, march. All right, last flow of this class. Coming back to the top of your mat. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip the flow. And once you've made it to your down dog, if you're not already there, we're going to take a nice juicy child pose here. So carefully bring down those knees. Knees can be together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you or back by the hips. You choose. You can let the belly go here, but keep the rib cage expansion as you breathe. Good. And then from here, as you're ready, we're going to move forward onto the belly. So obviously, if you're pregnant, you're not going to do this one, but you probably figured some of that out already if you were flowing. So from here, I'm just going to wiggle, 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 wiggle. I want to be nice and supported here. Good. I'm going to take my hands back by the hips. Palms can be up or face down. That's going to be your personal preference today. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the low body. My belly button is in. My pubic bone is into the mat. You can just lift the upper body. You can just lift the lower, or you can follow me upper and lower together. So just like in any other back bend, no cranking through the spine, or crunching rather. If you feel a crunch, you've gone too far. And we'll take that down. Make a little recovery pillow with the hands. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. From here, hands under the shoulders. Now, this won't work for everybody's knees, but I like this transition for myself. I'm going to cross at the ankles. I'm going to press back and then just keep going back until I come into a seat. Okay. So from the seat, we'll take our legs forward. Good. So some of you are going to have legs together. Some of you are going to be a little bit wider apart. Some of you might even bring a blanket or something up underneath your hips. That's all fine. Be where you're comfortable. Soft knees if you're tight in the hamstrings back here. Tall spine. Inhale, exhale. We're going to hinge from the hips, keeping that long spine. When you can come no more with that long spine, hands will come down. And we'll take our little forward fold here. Breathe and expand into the back body. And then from here, we'll come back up. Good. From here, have your strap in close proximity to you. And we're going to carefully come onto our backs. So just get there the way that's best for you to get there. Good. And then once you're here, take your feet maybe as wide as the mat. And then just do a little windshield wiper here. Good. Now from here, I'm going to take my strap. And I'm going to take this strap around the center part of the right foot. And I'm going to find a grip that's going to go towards where I know my range of motion is. I want to think about softness in this knee, so I don't want it to be locked. So for an example here, soft knee. This is locked knee. You want to have a soft knee. Let that hip settle down into its socket. And then from here, I'm just going to bring that leg in as close as I can to my face, getting a nice hamstring stretch here. So we have done some hamstring stretches during different poses, but we've also given them a lot of work to support us in a lot of those standing balance challenges. So we're just going to give it a little extra stretch here. And then from here, we'll release. I'm going to take my foot out of the strap. I'm just going to let my strap just stay right here. I'm going to cross that ankle over that knee. So we're going into a figure four. You can stay here, or you can bring that into the chest. You can rock side to side if you want to. Okay. And we're going to go into a little bit of a twisty here. We've done it before, but maybe not for a while. So we'll come back to it today. So I'm just going to take that left foot back down to the floor. Arms are going to be to the side. So we're going to go into the twist here. So now I'm going to let everything come over to the left, including that foot, hopefully. Good. Now I'm going to get a nice twisty and stretch to the right side of the body. Try to keep both shoulders grounded here. Breathe and expand. Good. Now from here, I'm going to press into the outer edge of the left foot. That's going to help you come up with the abs. And we'll come back to center and we'll undo. If you need a little windshield wiper here, take it. Now we're going to take our strap, same thing on the other side. Take it around the left foot. Good. Let that hip sink in, softness in the knee. Find the grip that works for your body. Bring it in. Oh, don't forget to breathe here. Breathing always helps with the stretch. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, we'll release. Good, I'm gonna take my foot out of the strap. I'm just gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna cross the left ankle over the right knee. And then from here, you can stay if this is the extent of your body or the limitation of your body, or you can bring it into the chest a little bit more. You can rock if you want to. So always moving and going where it's right for your body, never going beyond that. You have a limitation for a reason. And then from here, we'll take that back down. Good. Arms out to the side. We're going to take that twist to the other side now, letting everything fall over to the right, including that left foot. Oh, my blanket's in the way here. Breathe and expand. And then when you're ready, you're pressing to the outer edge of the right foot and you're using the abs to help bring you back in. We'll undo. We'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here, taking knees into the chest one more time. And then from here, short Shavasana from here. If you want a longer one and you're watching this later, you can always hit pause here and stay here longer. But I'm going to recommend legs long or a little bend in the knees. I'm going to come to bend in the knees. I'm going to wiggle, 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 maybe coming a little bit more comfortable than where I was. And I'll leave us here for a few moments, practicing the hardest yoga pose of all, being still. If you have trouble being still, think about the color red. That's the color of that first chakra that we got into a lot today. You can also bring your awareness to your heart center or to your third eye. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of the fingers and the toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifted into a full body hug, you choose. And choosing stillness Or moving any props out of the way if you used any during Shavasana time, taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes, full body stretch, point and flex through the feet, bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bend in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking as long as you need to pause here. And then when you're ready, we'll come up to a comfortable seat. Maybe the same one you started with, maybe a different one. I'm going to bring my blanket back in here. Good, finding that nice tall sit, ears, shoulders, and hips, noticing how you feel. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Reconnecting with that intention you made at the beginning of class, courage or your own. And we'll take our thumbs to our forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day or evening ahead. Namaste.